Hi there, Mark from Earthcruiser. I thought I'd show you today a second-hand vehicle. We get asked all the time, what does a vehicle look like after it's been used? What does it look like after it's done 50, 60, 70,000 Ks, 4 or 5 years? This truck's probably about 40 trucks ago, 50 trucks ago. So this gentleman's trading up to a new one. The new autos are out, so he's decided he wants to stick with the outback and go for the new 7-ton automatic. So let me show you around. Just starting at the front here, this is our typical winch bull bar with a winch included. This vehicle does have camera systems and tracking on it. Most of ours do. Coming around, we've got up here, you've got your scrub bar, which protects your pillars, gives you a rack to put everything on, allows for us to connect extra aerials and mount extra aerials on the roof there. Big 50-inch light bar. This truck's already had new tyres put on in readiness to sell to the next customer. When we get a vehicle in for sale, we ask that the customer gets the vehicle serviced and up to date with all of that. We ensure that it has got sufficient tyre tread on it, and we then go over the entire vehicle and make sure that bits and pieces that may need a little bit of attention get it. So we'll just go around the truck. This opening one of our doors on an Earthcruiser exposes our battery switches. Now these battery switches are important because you can shut the whole vehicle down and then close this door, which stops anybody from being able to, one, see them, and two, get to them if the door's locked. All of our seats are re-sculptured. We re-sculpture all the foam in them. These have got leather in them. These are a blue colour. You can choose whatever colour you want. Obviously, our operation system that manages the vehicle, we work with FinScan, an Australian company, and that is fairly well just produced for us. The software in that one, they do for others, but ours is quite particular. We have one in the front and one in the back. Normal fuel here, 90 litres. Our auxiliary fuel system on this particular vehicle, it's about another 200 odd litres. These are our actuators that lift the roof up. Vehicles are different in their setups. This one has a barbecue here. Has a grill plate and a flat plate. Both are available. Both come with it, so you can choose what you like. This will run off our AGM or pure lead battery systems, and obviously we offer both lithium and the AGMs. Lithium gives you a hell of a lot more power, especially with the air conditioning units we put on, the barbecues, and anything else you want that's sort of that sort of power. Entry handle. This is your toilet where your cartridge goes. Just have a look in the back here. We've got quite a bit of space to put things. You've got a 70-litre fridge freezer here. Over on this side, you've got your compressor behind that guarded area, and you've got all your water filtration system. I'll go around the other side and show you the handles and the back of the vehicle. This one's got 2 wheels on the back. You can choose whether you have 1 or 2. I don't think we've had a customer that's only ordered 1, but anyway, there's 2 wheels on the back. This one is a max track carrier, makes it easy just to get to the max track. It's only held on with 2 of the main bolts that hold the tyres, the wheels on, but it also converts to a wood carrier if you wanted to. There's photos on our Facebook and YouTube on how that works. This one's got the air conditioner, as you saw, inside. Shovel. Now, shovel holders, nothing special, but you know, a place for everything, and everything in its place kind of works the best when you're traveling. This one has a rear winch as well as a front winch. The way our wheels come down, they both have little tiny little winches in them, so it's as simple as undoing your bolts here, putting a pendant in here, and that allows you just to drop the wheel without lifting it or doing anything like that. The other thing is, because it's a winch and the cable goes out, if you've got the other wheel that you've taken off, which is further away, you just run the winch out to it and it'll drag it back. You don't actually have to lift it. This is the other side. So what's left in this truck is going with the truck. Some of there's his sand flag and his aerials are in here, which come off the front. If you have a look in here, you can see our water system. So we've got water from a river or a
water source out here, and then you've also got tank 1, tank 2, and we can move water from either of those tanks and back again. Obviously this is the big locker under your bed. Here we've just got toolboxes. These are about 50 litres each. Now this is our standard shower. So in our standard shower, soap holder, mirror, a hose tap, 2 water fills are here, 1 and 2, 2 and 1. And then in here, this one again, each setup is different. This one has his lithium batteries in here. So he's got 800 amps of lithium there, massive amount of power. And they're looked after by our solar system on the roof. More tanks. Why don't we get inside the cab? So come around the other side and we'll show you some of the handles. Ready? Okay. Batteries are on, so everything's on. To get in, we actually add these handles if required, and that allows for people to get more purchase to get up into the vehicle, so therefore it makes it easier to get in and out of the vehicle. Okay, so I'm going inside the vehicle. This is your entry door. The entry door has, it's a 2-part door, and what it allows for is a secure mesh, stainless steel secure mesh here, which allows you to lock the vehicle up and still be quite open. That locks back. And of course, put it back together. Simply like this. Okay, now to go in the vehicle, they're all the same. You've got roof up. So you can put the roof up from the doorway, you can put the roof up from the kitchen, or you can put the roof up from the driver's console. You can also do that with the steps. In fact, you can do all of the operations from inside on either of the screens. So once the roof's up, and you can put them both down at the same time, steps down, easy access, and you've got a handle to get in. Come on in. Alright, so this is inside a vehicle that's done, as I said, about 70,000 kilometres and is about 4 years old. It has been through the deserts and has done beach work. And as you can see, everything is as new. You'll see a bit of discoloration from our favourite red dirt, and that's not from it coming into the vehicle necessarily while you're driving, but of course when you stop and you have all your big windows open, you'll get dust moving around. The whole vehicle is controlled from our central control panels here. Basically, we have our lights, power, our battery gauge. So batteries at the moment are at 13.5, and we've still got 3.7 amps coming in. So they're fully charged. That's why the amps aren't doing much. Tanks, a little bit of diesel, and then we've got separation of our water. So we've got a 200 litre water tank there and a 100 litre water tank, and you can change that depending on the configuration of the vehicle. And the new 7s will have about 450 litres of water and 450 litres of fuel in total. As you can notice on this front page here, you have what's called an emergency system. So you push that and all 4 big lights around the perimeter come on. Nothing on the inside comes on. So at night, if you hear a noise, you can hit that. Pretty much lights up everything around the truck. You can see out, they can't see in, and you can work out what's going on. Lights. So let's turn some lights on. Bench light, table light, galley light, shower, bed light. And then we've got courtesy lights on the floor. So at night, if you just want to leave some lights on, you can leave them on. And then we've got our external lights. So our external lights are controlled from here and also from the front. If we go to our DC page, so this is all DC power. You can turn your fridge on, cooktop, heaters, water pumps, things like accessories turns on anything with switches. So it's that. DC outlets is all the 12-volt outlets around. This one's got a diesel cooktop. You can choose an induction cooktop or a diesel. Our preference is probably diesel, in that you get some redundancy. In other words, if you were to lose your 240 volt system, you still have the ability to cook with your diesel 12 volt. But as customers move on, the induction is becoming far more of an option, far more favourable, and also with the lithium system, that makes the induction cooktop work quite well. This one has a microwave in it. This is a full landscape one. We now put portrait ones in, which are the same size plate, but they're a little bit smaller. Allows for bigger beds and things like that. This one's got set up for TV. It also has ducted heating through to the back, this one. Also 122 litre Nova Cool fridge, which we bring in from Canada. This one has 2 fans in the roof. That allows for really good airflow. These fans have been fantastic. We also have air conditioning on this one. So with the air conditioning, we put a air dam curtain in, which allows you just to cool the bed area. So therefore you're not cycling the air conditioner more than it needs to. It also obviously preserves your battery for a little bit longer. Stainless steel sink, and water purifier comes through here with a normal tap there. These vehicles have continuous hot water, and of course central diesel heating. So their heating is set by a number that you set on the dial. So if you choose 17 degrees, you set it up 17, and it'll just keep the vehicle at 17. So down this end of the truck, we've got your 2 seats, which convert into a bed. Of course, you can have sky beds above here and a sky bed above the back, which allows for, well, they're rated at about 120 kilos, but it's normally the length that designates it for a child. So under this side here, we have all your diesel heating. So you have diesel hot water and diesel air heating and a few other electronics. Under this side, we have our entire electrical box. Now, what we do differently to everybody else is we don't put fuses and relays throughout the whole truck. Everything comes back to a central area. Anything you need to do other than just wiring to the item is done in this box. Now, that is not usual. When people put accessories on, they just put fuses sort of anywhere in the truck and relays up the front somewhere. So what we do is we bring heavy power back into here, and then we operate the whole thing through this. The advantage to that is if you've got a problem, it's in that. It also allows us to pre-build the box and put the box in as a finished item. We test it on the bench, put it in, plug it all in. All the leads are just plugged straight in, and test it as it goes. So I'll just show you what happens in here. So this one's got lithium batteries in it. What you see here is what we call our solid state switching system. Now, the easier way might be to explain it is use this terminology as analog, and back up here with the touch screens is our digital system. Now, with every computer, you have to plan for a blue or black screen of death when everything goes out. Fortunately, we haven't had too much of that. Very seldom, in fact. But if that was to happen, where that screen was to go out completely, you have critical switches here. So let's say we lost that screen. Let me just lights, turn off all them. Now this screen's gone black, blue, whatever. You've lost your screens. You've now got critical switching. So you can go down here and you can choose a particular switch. So let's say roof light. So one light comes on. Now what that's done is it's completely bypassed the digital switch system. It's got its own circuit breaker in there. It draws power from a different supply, and if that light's going to go, by turning that switch on, it will go. The other things that are on this panel are things like your heaters, your fuel pump, your fridge, critical switches. So we have 20 critical switches on that panel, and not that we've had to use it that often, in fact, to the point where we've discussed a lot whether that panel is actually ever necessary, because we really don't have problems with this. But I think as a backup, and for the fact that people just are wary of computer systems, that this gives you a level of confidence that the digital systems may not. So that does that. Now also in here we've got all our 240 volt coming through the side here. Okay, these are all RCDs. and they protect incoming power, they protect your GPO, which is your normal outlets, and also any other 240 volt stuff you've got on here. Also, you'll see down here is our lithium switching. So the difference between a lithium truck and a wet cell or AGM truck, let's say, is that the batteries have their own switch. So whilst a pure lead AGM system turns off the system and any power to the batteries under the seat, in this truck, all that does is turn the system off under the seat. This turns on the batteries on and off. So they're very well looked after with their BMS. The BMS that we use from the States is extremely smart. We really have been impressed by it. We haven't found anything else on the market like it. There's lots of other incarnations of that system, but nothing that does quite what this one does. This one has, as I said, cameras, so it's being tracked all the time. So if the customer is actually looking at his phone, he'll see that there's someone in his truck or someone around it. It's all backed up both on local hard drive and also a very light version up to the net. But he can obviously on his phone see live vision of what's going on. So that's the seats through here. These two seats here swivel. You've got your table here. There's the table. That sits here. When these two chairs swivel, you get a 4-man dinette in there. That allows for, if you've got wet weather, you've got a few friends want to come over and have dinner, go to cards, a drink, all here. Otherwise, I would say most people leave these things turned straight unless they're camped for maybe 3 days plus, and then they might turn the seats around. Okay, so also this one has, this is our older version walkthrough where it's more like a T section. Our new ones have a full cutout and allow you to swing your legs around, which gives you a little bit more space. So as you can see, it's quite large. You can get through very easily, flat floor all the way through, making it, I think people's choice really. The walkthrough thing does it for. Let's talk about the toilet. So the way our toilet works, it's a double operating hinge here. So to get into it, you simply go through this way. I'll just lean over this one so you can walk straight through there. Toilet comes out. There's your toilet. You can leave it out through the night if you wanted to, so someone can just scoot out through past it. It goes away quite easily. And then I'll show you the shower. So for the shower to work, I'll just do it from outside. This pops down. You walk in. Push that up. Door closes behind you. And shower. Inside the shower we have a mirror. This is one of our only flat surfaces that's at this height for you to look at. And then to put it away, it's as simple. Now this is made out of basically kite material. So it's the same material they make spinnakers for boats out of. And then up away it goes. And of course you can then just come out and then put the door back away. Everything we've got's got travel locks on it. So you'll notice on these drawers here they have a travel lock. So whilst they are still soft close, they have a travel lock. They're just a nylon travel lock. They've worked really well. They're nice and tidy, so we use those. I think we're going to have a look in the front of the cab now. So this is an Iveco Euro 5. It's been a really good vehicle for us. Certainly the customers have liked it. It's done everything we've asked it to do. Dealing with Iveco has been good. Some of the things we put on it, this one's got electric brakes on it. Normally they'd have airbags. UHF. This has got a HEMA map system in it. So I'll turn some power. These might be off. So this will come up. This is a Xenex system. They're not available anymore. We've gone to the Alpine. But these were a really good unit where we had a seamless mapping system, both HEMA and road maps. And then up here we've got our fin scan. So of course, just with single touch, everything you saw in the back is here. The difference is this has cameras. So when you put it in reverse, you'll get a reverse camera come up. You've got two options. You've got a tree camera and then you've got a tow bar camera. But again, if you want to put the roof down, so you just go to DC power and you push roof down, And as you'll notice, just swing the camera around and you'll see the roof coming down at the back. So we can do all that from here without getting out of these seats. All you do is have a quick look, make sure everything is okay. Okay, and then stairs, if you want to put the stairs up, so and then we're off. Now, if we tried to move off and those stairs were down, an alarm would come up. Actually, let's do that. So I've just pushed the stairs out a little bit. Ignition is on. So we don't, okay, so straight away, if you have a look up there, check steps. So it's saying that our steps are up because we're about to take off. So we just bring the stairs all the way up again, and then ready to go. And of course, no alarm now, stairs are up. All right, so we can turn everything on and off from here. And of course, from the front screen, we've got the emergency system. Now, obviously, I think maybe that would be more used in the rear when you're asleep, but wake up to a noise. But at the front screen here, now we have bar light and driving lights. So this one here has both bar lights and driving lights. I don't think the driving lights are on at the moment. They're being replaced because the customer just said replace them before we sell it. So that's good for the new customer. But when we say turn on our lights, we go like that. Our bar light comes on and our driving light comes on from here, and they all work off the stalk. So whilst they're on here, they won't actually come on to traffic unless you pull on your high beam. Another nice feature of our control system here is that you can troubleshoot what's on, what's off, what's not working. So let's just we'll go to our battery gauge. We'll see that we're discharging at 1 amp. Now what that means is that that's the system. The system's it actually uses about 0.8 of an amp. So let's just call it 1 amp. So then we'll go back to our front screen. We'll push all the emergency lights. Now what that is that big bar light in the front and 3 other 100-watt LEDs. So now we'll go back to the gauge and watch the discharge go up. So now we can see that something's on. So if you were looking to see if a heater was starting or something else was starting, you can actually go to your electrical page and see if there's actually a power draw. It's kind of nice if you're trying to work out what's going on. So we'll turn that off. Okay, that's it. Whilst this vehicle is for sale, check with Earthcruiser for any vehicles coming up.